Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Thursday. Got some news. Obviously, the SEC has rejected Grayscale's spot Bitcoin Bitcoin ETF. So that's not going through. We have some other news about Europe having a spot Bitcoin ETF going through. We also have FTX possibly buying BlockFi. We'll get into that as well. And I think we'll call that a day. But first, I wanted to say thank you to Anthony Power. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, his Twitter handle is Kazenov _ UK, so CAZENOVE _ UK. Had a great conversation with him today for about 45 minutes or so. We just kind of talked about miners and things like that. So let me know if you guys would be interested in having maybe Anthony join me once a month here and review the miners, see what they did for the previous month, where we think everything stands, and things like that. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. If you are, great. If maybe we can make something happen of that. All right, so let's get into the miners here. And as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin here first. Bitcoin has obviously come down. Miners are obviously down because of it, and we're heading for 52-week new lows on the miners as well. So we'll get into all of that. But here's Bitcoin right now. It's at 18,913. I've been saying for the last couple of days that I've been bearish on Bitcoin based on what I'm seeing in the 1-hour chart here. I mentioned it, I believe, in a video on Tuesday. I believe it was Tuesday or Monday that I saw a bearish pattern basically developing. And we basically have gone from 20,566 down to 18,900, so down about $1,600 in that time frame. It's still looking bearish on the 1-hour chart right now. It doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. Every time we pump the RSI above the oversold, we've been just dipping on it. So we'll see if we can get a reversal pattern happening on it. But right now, we're still way oversold on weekly. You can see the RSI is way down here on the monthly as well. We haven't been this low on the monthly RSI ever in history. So this is kind of uncharted territory for us that we're dealing with right now. Same thing with weekly, obviously. We haven't been this low, ever. The lowest we've ever been on the RSI here looks like right around the 28 mark. And we are at 25, 24. So we are extremely oversold right now. And obviously all the FUD that's happening right now with the DeFi space, obviously BlockFi possibly being bought out. You got Celsius possibly going under. You got other DeFi projects crashing and burning. So it's obviously a lot of that has driven the price of Bitcoin down. And we'll see when the meltdown actually stops. But right now we just don't know where everybody was invested and who everybody had their pockets in. And that's going to take some time to shake out. So I think until that time, we're going to be a little bit bearish here on Bitcoin, where it's going. Ethereum is also down today, obviously, to 1,026. We can see that it has been falling. If we look at the 1-hour chart, it has obviously fallen below the oversold territory, rose back above it, and we are basically trading the same as Bitcoin, like I keep saying over and over. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we got Friday tomorrow. Today's the end of the month. We're obviously going to be on the monthly here on the red chart. So we got 1, 2, 3 for Ethereum as far as red. We got 1, 2, 3 also months in red for Bitcoin as well. So we'll see if maybe this end of June will kind of get rid of the bad mojo around the crypto space here, and we can maybe do a little green in July, but we'll see what happens. Right now, it's just not looking good. All right, so let's take a look at the miners here. And the miners, like I said, pretty much, I wouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them had hit new 52-week lows today, and they just keep coming back down as Bitcoin obviously falls. So ANY was down 6.82% today to 53 cents. It was down a little bit more in the after hours to 53 cents. It hit a new 52-week low of 51 cents, almost 52 cents. Argo, went too far. Argo was down 11.63% to 38 cents. It hit a new 52-week low at 37 cents. Bit Digital was down 9.03% to $1.31. It's up a little bit in the after hours to $1.35. It hit a new 52-week low about 2 weeks ago or so. Bitfarms was down 5.88% to $1.12. Up a little bit in the after hours to $1.15. It hit a new 52-week low of $1.07. CleanSpark was down 2.97 to $3.92. Up a little bit in the after hours to $3.94. It hit a new 52-week low of $3.84 today. Cores was down 3.25% to $1.49. It hit a new 52-week low of $1.40. Up a little bit in the after hours to $1.51. DigiHost was down 9.73% to $1.02. It hit a new 52-week low of 95 cents. DMG was down 1.84% to 18 cents, and it hit the 52-week low about 8 days ago. Hive was down 3.86% to $2.89, up a little bit in the after hours to $3.07. It hit the 52-week low about 2 weeks ago. Hut 8 was down 6.34% to $1.33, up a little bit in the after hours to $1.35. New 52-week low for them as well, $1.29 today. Iris Energy was up actually 4.69% to $3.35, and it hit the 52-week low approximately 5 days ago, so possibly, what was that, on Friday of last week. Luxfolio was flat today at 13 cents. Marathon was down 7.93% to $5.34, up a little bit in the after hours to $5.40. It hit 52-week low as well at $5.27 today. Mawson was down 2.68% to $1.09. 52-week low for today was 98 cents, so that was a new one for it. Riot was also down 6.89% to $4.19, down a little bit more in the after hours to $4.17. New 52-week low of $4.12, and Stronghold was up today 2.47%, a little bit more in the after hours to $1.72, but it also hit a new 52-week low today of $1.46 here on the chart. So not a good day for the miners, obviously. All you guys that are invested in miners, we're obviously in a world of hurt right now. I put in a little bit more cash into my brokerage account to buy some more, but I'm thinking we may dip a little bit more, so I'm going to hold off a couple more days and buy in between there a little bit on the ones that I want to buy, obviously. All right, so let's get into the news stories here, and then we'll call it a day. And this is obviously Anthony Power. His Twitter handle is CAZENOVE_UK. He also does the mining calculations like I do, and he puts all his information out on Twitter, which is really good and great information there as well. And he does write for some, he does do some writing for Compass Mining as well, so you can check him out there. Really great guy. So thank you to him for talking to me today. And let's get into FTX. So FTX is close to buying crypto lender BlockFi for a knockdown price of $25 million. The report says. Zach Prince of BlockFi kind of counters that a little bit, and we'll get into it here. But here's basically what we know so far. So crypto exchange FTX is close to signing a deal to purchase struggling crypto lender BlockFi for $25 million, according to a report from CNBC, citing 3 sources familiar with the situation. The deal could be signed as soon as the end of the week, according to a report, which is basically tomorrow. Earlier this month, BlockFi was reportedly set to close a down round of funding at a valuation of $1 billion compared to its previous valuation of $3 billion in March of last year. And FTX had previously given a $250 million credit facility to BlockFi. The lender said in mid-June it was cutting about 20% of its workforce, or roughly 170 people. So obviously, this is a little bit surprise to me. I thought BlockFi was one of the ones that was going to get through this okay. They got through the 2018, 2019 bear market okay. So I thought, they had good systems in place to kind of limit their exposure and possibly downside, but it doesn't look like it. So it looks like they are one of the casualties of the DeFi bubble, basically, that we went through this time around, that we're going through right now. So I was a little surprised by that. I thought that they were going to be able to make it through, but that's not the case. So live and learn. If anybody of you guys had, staked any of your coins through BlockFi, let me know if you guys were able to pull the money out or how badly you got burned on it. But just, let me know what you guys thought of that, obviously, on that one. So, and here's Zach Prince on Twitter. He wrote the following: lots of market rumors are out there. I can 100% confirm that we aren't being sold for $25 million, but he didn't say for how much. I encourage everyone to trust only details that you hear directly from BlockFi. We will share more with you as soon as we can. So we'll obviously find out more when this actually does happen. So we'll keep you guys posted on that as well. All right. And then we got Grayscale. So Grayscale, obviously, yesterday came the news that the SEC was rejecting their spot Bitcoin ETF. So they obviously said that they were going to possibly sue the SEC, and this is what they're doing. So there's some interesting tidbits in here, so I wanted to go over that. So the SEC rejected Grayscale's application to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to an exchange-traded fund earlier Wednesday. And Grayscale Investment filed suit against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission barely an hour after the regulatory agency rejected its application to convert its flagship Grayscale Bitcoin Trust product to an exchange-traded fund ETF. The SEC rejected Grayscale's application earlier Wednesday, citing concerns about market manipulation, the role of Tether in the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, and the lack of surveillance sharing agreement between a regulated market of significant size and a regulated exchange, echoing concerns the regulator has expressed for years in rejecting other spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, I'm not a securities expert or anything like that. I don't know what that all entails. If you guys have some more details as far as what they're actually talking about, I think it's more on trying to figure out or trying to manage risk that I'm kind of figuring out here, and obviously consumer protection on it as well. So let me know if there's obviously more to it. I'm sure there's more to it that's involved, but this is just beyond my expertise. Going on here in the filing, Grayscale simply asked the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit to review the SEC's order. The investment firm announced earlier in 2022 was prepared to sue the SEC in the event of a rejection, saying it would file a proceeding under the Administrative Procedures Act. To that end, Grayscale tapped former Solicitor General Don Verrilli, who has experience in APA proceedings. Grayscale supports and believes in the SEC's mandate to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. And we are deeply disappointed by and vehemently disagree with the SEC's decision to continue to deny spot Bitcoin ETFs from coming to the U.S. market. Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein said in a statement Wednesday, and this is Green Party's kind of what I thought was very interesting here. Especially the company will argue that the SEC has allowed allowed products that are like other products already trading, in this case, Bitcoin futures ETF, right? The only difference, obviously, is that's through a different party here. So here's a quote. This is a place where common sense has really important role to play. You've got a situation now in which you have certain kinds of exchange-traded funds, one that is focused on Bitcoin futures, and the SEC has approved that. The SEC is given it the seal of approval, he said. In order to do so, it had to make a determination that this approval was consistent with the securities laws, and in particular that there wasn't a sufficient underlying risk of fraud and manipulation. So he's talking about obviously the futures ETF here on this one, which makes sense. And then obviously to date, only a handful of Bitcoin futures ETFs have been approved to trade. Spot Bitcoin ETFs trade based on the price of Bitcoin itself, while futures-based ETFs trade based on the price of CME's Bitcoin futures product, which in turn is tied to an index. The Bitcoin ETF's proponents argue that the futures markets are still based on the underlying spot Bitcoin price, while the SEC notes that CME's futures market is regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, a fellow federal agency. So that's basically what's holding this whole thing up possibly. So obviously not good news. We'll see where this ends up at. But we do obviously have also that Europe is getting a spot Bitcoin ETF. So new spot Bitcoin ETF launches at Euronext Amsterdam Exchange. And here are the important parts. So Jacobi Asset Management, a London-based digital asset management platform, is preparing to launch its Jacobi Bitcoin ETF on Euronext Amsterdam next month. The firm announced on Thursday the spot Bitcoin ETF will start trading on the Euronext Amsterdam Exchange under the ticker Bcoin. So obviously Europe is getting it in Amsterdam, but for some reason the US can't get it. I guess there's no market manipulation in Europe. Continuing on here, so our product is the first spot or physical backed Bitcoin fund, and the fund is not allowed to lend, stake, or leverage any of the assets it owns. So I think this is really good, right? This is kind of making sure that you don't over leverage yourself and make a bad mistake worse, like we're kind of seeing right now with the DeFi space. So this, I completely agree with this. I think this is fine. And then for the first time in Europe, investors buying an exchange-traded Bitcoin product will own the units that own the Bitcoin. Kershid said, there are other exchange-traded products in Europe, but no other spot BTC ETF, he added, which is true. And then obviously custodial services for Jacobi Bitcoin ETF will be provided by Fidelity's crypto arm Fidelity Digital Assets, while Flow Traders and DRW would serve as market makers to facilitate trading. So why couldn't this be also done in the U.S.? Obviously, Fidelity has a business here in the United States as well. So institutional and professional investors in Europe will be able to have access to the ETF for 1.5% annual management fee. And the announcement notes, a former investment banker, Goldman Sachs, I'm having a hard time pronouncing his name, or her name, Kershid, believes that the new Bitcoin ETF launch will help bring more stability to the crypto market amid a mass sell-off, he said. And also, we believe that this will now remove the barrier to entry for those investment firms that have mandates to invest in regulated products only, and will therefore increase adoption of digital assets, bringing more stability and less influence from whales, which is nothing short of a necessity for the crypto industry. And we obviously know that whales obviously have a lot of control here in the space right now. As previously reported, Canada was one of the first countries in the world to debut a spot Bitcoin ETF with the launch of the Purpose Bitcoin ETF in February of 2021. Australia debuted its first crypto ETF in the mid-2020s, and yet still here we are, the United States, lagging behind it. So hopefully something will happen from this where we will eventually get a spot Bitcoin ETF, but I don't know if that's going to happen until we actually get some maybe regulation in place or something from the Senate, Congress, White House. President signs off on something, a framework or something, and then maybe we'll get it. Or if we get somebody else put into, obviously, Gary Gensler's position. So that's where we are at. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, the market is a pain. I mean, we're in a bear market right now. It's not fun. I can sympathize with all you guys because I'm in pain as well. Everything that I've been buying into and dollar cost averaging in, it's like I'm down 50% at dollar cost averaging a little bit. I'm down 30%, and then I'm going down 50% again. So it's rough. I get it. The only thing we have is time. As long as you're in the market, I think the long term, I think we will all do great. But as always, not financial advice. Do your own research. But I'm still looking to dollar cost averaging even more. So maybe at the end of all this, we can all retire. Fingers crossed. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And then let me know if you want to see Anthony here once a month or something like that to go over the miners with me after they provide their monthly production updates. I thought that might be kind of cool. So let me know in the comments down below, and we'll go from there. So thanks again to Anthony. Thanks to you guys for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow's July. Bye.